Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rita Choi, founder of Asia HRM. Thank you for joining us. As organizations navigate a world that is rapidly becoming both greener and more digital, one truth is becoming clear. Future skills are no longer optional. They are foundational to sustainable business performance. Today's session focuses on what it really takes to build these capabilities in a way that is responsible, human-centered, and aligned with long-term value creation. I'm delighted to welcome our speaker today, Chow Yong Eng. I simply call him CY, an award-winning learning and development practitioner who has led workforce transformation across multiple industries. His work centers on building responsible foundations, developing sustainable leaders, and preparing organizations for the capabilities they will need next, not just the one they need yesterday. Over the next 45 minutes, we'll explore how future skills can strengthen resilience, accelerate transformation, and shape a more sustainable business landscape. Before we dive in, I would love every one of you to say hello to us and just let us know where you are from. And understand that today is a holiday in Singapore. Yeah, just a happy holiday to all those who are from Singapore. So before we start the Q&A session, I would love to have CY to say something to us. If CY, you do have something to tell us. Anything to tell us before we start the Q&A session, CY?
Hi everyone, and thank you, Rita, for inviting me back again. It's really a refreshing way to start off this public holiday here in Singapore to have a chat with you on something that's close to my heart. And of course, I think with my past few decades of experience in learning and development, and also in areas of transformation for organizations itself, today's current pace of changes happening in the workplace itself has been the hot button topic for a lot of people. We talk about AI, we talk about sustainability, we talk about transformation, and this are really something that keeps on churning. And for us as much as we are the vital cause of every organization itself. We feel like it's like we're like continuously in the rat race. Especially when it comes to skills acquisition, and also in terms of trying to keep up with the changes that's happening.
Thank you, CY. Hello, Dominic. Welcome, joining from the Philippines. Okay,
Hi, Dominic.
Hi, Dominic. Thank you. So for those who are attending the session today, just feel free to put your questions or comments in the comment box. I'm sure that CY will get all your questions answered. At least he will try to get all the questions answered. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Everything starts with mindset, right? Especially for any changes that we want to make. So what mindset shift do leaders need to make to truly prioritize future skills as a driver of sustainable business performance?
I think it all begins with everyone, in terms of the mindset towards learning. If I'll just want everyone to kind of trace back to the common, or what I term as traditional practices of learning itself. In the past, I think you all would have seen you expect the L&D team itself to come up with learning calendar for the year. From January to December, you will be looking at what are some of the various courses that the company will plan in conjunction with training partners that we have engaged with. And that's really in the past where perhaps your people managers will be looking through the calendar and say, okay, you should go for this course now in Q1, second course in Q3, so on and so forth. And that's where you also plan your, I would say, your learning budget for your team, even for the department for the year itself. And usually that's like, I would say, the start of the year conversation, and also probably at the end of the year conversation, where you probably have to size up, what you have done, achieve for the year, things like this. But if you fast forward to today, it's really pinning on self-directed learning, and also in a sense, we'll touch a lot more on learning agility later. Because if you think about it this way, future skills, we talk about future skills itself, it's not as if we have a crystal ball in front of us, be able to think about what we're gonna do in Q1, Q2, Q3, so on and so forth. But in fact, I think we are trying to build new muscles as changes are being introduced. Whether is it at your individual level, or is at the org level, or even at the industry level itself. And this is where I think when it comes to how we link skills acquisition from the past to today itself, right? We are actually doing a lot more self-directed learning on the go, right? So this is a conversation that will be continuous. There's no longer that kind of traditional cadence where you probably supplement it as part of your conversation with your people managers. So when it comes to this mindset shift itself, really, we talk about future skills. It's no longer just an L&D priority. It's actually a company's and business priority, right? So in fact, I think the questions that enlightened organizations or leaders will ask these days will be, what capabilities must our organization build to be future ready?
Yeah. Thank you, CY. While I was listening to your insights about this question, right? You mentioned about self-directed learning and agility, and has made me to remember the word that I learned in the recent HR Tech Asia conference. Now, because of the AI, changes are actually a constant. It's so quick that this month will be different from next month. So nowadays, they all talk about no longer change management. They call it as a changeability. So what do you think about this word, changeability?
In terms of if I were to use an analogy itself, in fact, I'll use this analogy of a chameleon. So if you know chameleon, actually, they do have this ability to camouflage, to blend in with the surroundings itself. And it's something that over time itself, we as employees, trying to stay relevant, and also to keep up with the changes that's taking place in the workplace itself, we do have to build our extra new muscles really fast. I use it as a case in point is if I were to look at myself, in fact, the kind of tools that I'm using, maybe 5 to 10 years ago as compared to today, it's very different. In fact, we are, organizations, we are using a lot of AI tools to help supplement, our day-to-day work itself, and it frees up a bit of the bandwidth, especially when they talk about administrative time itself. It frees up quite a bit for us to focus a lot more on the strategic, and also I would say, human focus, I would say, tasks that we need to do. In fact, I think this also gives rise to us allowing ourselves more space, to reflect, and also to think ahead. And I would say that it is important, even for myself, to also be kept informed of all these changes that's not just happening within my learning and development space itself, but also across the departments in my organization. And I think that's important because this is where we also get to be exposed to a lot more cross-functional work, and this help us as leaders doing strategic portfolios itself, right, to be able to connect the dots, and it's no longer working in silo, right?
during my conversation with CY, right, you mentioned the word reflection for a few times. So I'm sure that you are the person who spent quite some time on reflection so that you know you come up with more insights and things that you have to move on, right? Okay, very nice. I love the idea that employee have to stay relevant. Yeah, so that they need to come up with a self-directed learning instead of having a calendar prepared by the company that today something that you have to learn, tomorrow you have to learn this, right? It's no longer the case. Time really flies.
Yes.
Time has changed. Thank you so much. So let's move on to another question. For those who have questions for CY, just feel free to drop your question in the comment box. Okay, so the second one is talk about digital and green digital future. When preparing for a green digital future, which capabilities should organizations build first, and why those?
I think first and foremost itself, we talk about what is considered as what I deem as foundational capability that will enable other skills to come to the fore, and that will be learning agility. I think learning agility is something that I just shared in question one itself. No? And in fact, I think when it comes to this part about learning agility, I think it's really boils down to one key point itself. When all of us when we see uncertainties, challenges, disruptions, taking place in the workplace. If you just take a step back, if you do have that this foundational capability of learning agility itself, you probably see all this. I would say, whether it's the disruptions, the changes in the workplace, you probably see them as opportunities, and that's a very important, I would say, skill to have, because if you were to think of it this way, if a company, we go through a company that goes through this ups and down, and in fact, if I were to just focus on companies facing the downwards trend itself, it looks all doom and gloom. Things are not picking up. A lot of, I think, the majority will probably see this as very negative. But someone with learning agility itself will probably see there will be opportunities to get things back on track, get things better, step at a time. And if I were to just use an example, let's say if you talk about in the F&B scene or the retail sectors, if you know that sales volume is down, human traffic is down, what can we do? And perhaps I think this is where someone with a leader with learning agility will probably use that opportunity to allocate time to actually, I would say, upskill their workers during the what we say as the lull period, an opportunity to prepare them for probably new skills, try out new things. It could be, let's say, in terms of the F&B scene itself, do they want to experiment new dishes, right? Things like this, and in fact, I think this will actually, give the employees something to look forward to, rather than sitting there mouthing and complaining about how there's no traffic, and how it's affecting their time itself. And when it comes to learning agility itself, I think the next logical question to ask is, how can we acquire this learning agility over time? And I think it also boils down to the fact that we need to be curious. We need to start to observe, people, things around us. What makes certain things tick, and what are certain experiences, that may need a bit of that improvement. And this is where I think when it comes to doing that leap into learning agility itself, it really requires a lot of, I would say, reflection, no? Because for us to really reflect on our past actions, and to be able to learn and unlearn, some of the practices that we have done over time itself. The unlearning part, to me, I think is the most challenging because we as humans, we are habitual creatures. We we think that by doing the same thing over and over the thing and expecting the same outcome itself, based on past precedents, I think that holds dear to a lot of us. But we also would realize that as the environment circumstances change, that same results may not.
Wow, very nice. So actually, when I was about to ask CY, how are we going to acquire learning agility? CY already told us the answer. You could read my mind. You could read my mind. Yeah, be curious and observe anything new, and also learn and unlearn, right? So actually, learning agility is something that we can learn, right?
True.
Okay, very
And
nice.
in fact, one more
yeah.
thing to add itself is I always encourage everyone to start building your own tribe, your own learning tribe. So let's say if you find that when you want to practice, and sharpen your ability to in that area itself, you need sometimes you need that encouragement, that lift, and it really is really very helpful if you have this tribe who is experiencing this uncomfortable growth spurt itself, that you are experiencing, because when times are bad itself, we always tend to think that we may want to retreat or go back to where we were, and just say that, oh, I tried, but that it's not for me, it's not my cup of tea. And that's where I think it requires us to really get that form of support. Yeah.
Yeah, I think support is very important, especially have a group of people, like-minded people who love to enhance their learning agility skills, and this is where we should join, so that we can keep on improving and also get the encouragement from them. Very true. I think this is a very good way to us to learn something, for us to learn anything, just to have like-minded people together and then share our thoughts, and also encourage each other. Very nice. So the next one is, if you have led transformation across industries, what does responsible transformation look like when organizations are under pressure to move fast?
I would actually think of it, if you recall in your childhood itself, right? In the playground, there's what we call the seesaw. Do you recall having
Seesaw.
the seesaw?
Yeah.
Going up and down. So
Right.
I always see that if you use the analogy of the seesaw itself, right? On one side is where the speed of change is happening, right? But on the other side itself, you also have this, I would say, a combination of, we talk about the drive towards sustainability, and again, the people readiness, to go through all this transformation changes itself. And you realize that, this seesaw, in terms of equilibrium, it goes, it could go either way, along the whole journey of transformation, because you would also understand and appreciate that transformation requires time. And when you talk about just the element of time alone itself, right, it could take years, to go through the different phases of transformation. And again, I think if you talk about the people themselves, this is where a lot of times you have heard of in I would say in industry speak these days itself, they say that transformation is not just about processes, not systems, but it's actually all about people. And I'm very sure you have heard of such statements before. But if I were to just let everyone hold that thought itself. If transformation is all about people, not just about systems and processes, if you were to look at how organizations see it itself in a financial sense, where does your budget for transformation lies in? And you also know that a lot of organizations actually plan their transformation budgets mainly in the IT side of things, right? Because they look at system changes, all that stuff. But a lot of times, what we say may not reflect on what we do, right? So in a sense, as much as we say that transformation is about people, things like this itself, but the actions that we take when it comes to transformation itself, right? It may goes back to, I would say, the rhetoric whereby actually all your budgeted pool of money in transformation goes back to IT systems, things like this. And that is incongruent, right? From an observer's point of view itself. And in fact, when that happens, I think people will say that we're just paying lip service to saying that we care about people when there are changes, or we introduce certain things like AI initiatives, and I think especially in the recent weeks, all the tech giants are announcing a lot of manpower cuts, and this brings back a lot of brings back to that start of the transformation, what was being promised to the people, right? So in a sense itself, I would say that a lot of organizations are grappling with this journey that we are taking in transformation. And in fact, if I were to put it across to everyone itself, I think transformation is happening every day. You like it or not, whether it's a small scale or big scale transformation, it's either the company changes ahead of time, or the company gets changed because it lags behind. Right, there's a big difference, right? So whether you're ahead of the race or you're actually behind the race, and that actually boils down to this I would say this term about responsible transformation. And it really, I think the onus is on every one of us to get into that heartbeat of the organization. I think when I talk about responsible transformation, right, I'm not just focusing on leaders, but I think also on the employees. Are we being responsible employees? And when I say responsible employees itself, right, there are a few things that I'll touch upon. Number one, are you aware of the financial health of your organization? Right, I think that's important, because if you are aware of the financial health of your organization itself, right, then you will understand what are the actions that you can take as an employee to support or not make meaningful contributions back to your organization in good or bad times, right? So that's one. Two, I think when it comes to the individual self, I think it's always important to not understate your role in the organization, right? Because I think some of the common refrain that we will hear that from employees is, when companies are going through not so good times, they may say that, oh, it's not within my pay scale to solve the problem for my organizations, right? And on the other hand itself, I think a lot of times employees also question the value of loyalty to the company these days, because they will say that, oh, if the company is not doing well, I think I better it's sometimes me, myself, and I mindset slips in. They'll say, okay, I'll better think for myself first. I think maybe I should look elsewhere. And again, I think when such I would say incidents happen itself, that also erodes the relationship between employees and organization. Yeah. So it's a two-way. To me, it's really two-way, because if the organization hasn't taken good care of its people, then I think the people would probably will question the reason why they should bite the bullet and really go through the tough times with the organization. Right? So again, I think when it comes to responsible transformation, this is where I will look into the all these factors, and be able to have that visibility on how that transformation journey will take root.
I love your insights about these both sides, right? Well, the company will use different touch points to let them know the changes, especially transformation is happening every day in this AI era. This month is different from the next month. The employee also have to understand their role in an organization, and also understand the financial health of the organization. I think that's both way, yeah. And I also can agree with you more that if the company care about the organization, the employees will feel it, and I think they will also respond appropriately, or we should use the word responsibly.
Yeah. In fact,
Yeah.
I think Rita, to kind of sum up this whole topic on responsible transformation itself, I think we have our previous conversation on the 3 pillars that I've always touched on itself. I think if we were to recall the workforce strategy, it looks at number 1, how do we build our strength?
CY, did we lose
Yes.
you? The line was breaking. Can you
I'm
repeat
still
this
here. Can you hear me?
the first pillar? Yeah, can. Can you repeat the first pillar? CY? I think there is some technical issue here. Hi, CY? Hello, CY. I think CY will be back very soon.
Hello,
Hello,
can you hear
CY.
me?
Welcome back.
Yes.
So
yes.
you just mentioned your sort of famous 3 pillars. Okay, can you just tell us these 3 pillars?
So number 1, of course, we talk about strengthening the foundations, the responsible foundations itself, and I think that relates to my earlier part of mention of how we actually look at the physical strength of the organization, all right. And number 2, when it comes to, I would say, the leaders itself, how do we actually develop these leaders that have the qualities of being sustainable, developing sustainable leaders. And of course, number 3, we also look at building future-ready capabilities. And this is something that I would say, these are the 3 necessary ingredients for us to edge ourselves towards having responsible transformation.
And the third one, CY, we can't hear very clearly.
Oh,
what is the third
that's on building future-ready capabilities.
Building future capabilities.
Yes.
Okay. So the first one is build strengths, right? The strength is the employee strength or of the employers?
It's when you talk about strengthening the responsible foundations itself, right? It can cut into the DNA of the company, and also in terms of its, I would say, the financial health, because this is where, all right, companies are built upon. You need to make sure that you have a healthy, financial sheet itself, to begin with. And when it comes to that itself, I think every employee should have, I would say, visibility and also the curiosity to know where the company is at, right?
Okay, very nice. So the first one is strengthening the foundation of the company. The second one is the leaders' qualities, right?
Yes.
The third one is building future capabilities. Very nice.
Future-ready capabilities. Right.
Oh, future-ready capabilities. Very nice. So we have Lorene, hello from Myanmar. For those who are viewing us, just feel free to put your questions or comments in the comment box. Okay, so let's move on. What distinguishes a sustainable leader from a high-performing leader who may not yet be future ready?
Well, I think I would say that I'll use this analogy in sports itself. I think in coming weeks, I think a lot of countries will be celebrating this festival called 端午节. I think Rita, you probably celebrate 端午节 in sometime in June.
Right? Yeah, 端午节.
Yes.
Yes, it's 端午节.
So again, itself, you will recall that there's a very I would say well-known activity that happens during 端午节, which is Dragon Boat.
Dragon Boat, yeah, right. Dragon Boat, yes,
right.
yes.
So if a lot of you may be thinking, oh, Dragon Boat is about this is really like a team sport, So you have 20 over paddlers itself, you have the drummer, you have the person leading the team itself, from the start to the finishing line itself, But of course, I think if you were to look at some of the recent advances in dragon boating itself, they are actually using, I think when you talk about paddlers itself, right, they're actually using new age equipment like carbon fiber paddles, so it's much more lightweight. And then if you talk about the design of the boat itself, yeah, even looking at how to improve the aerodynamics or even the hydrodynamics in terms of the efficiency of how the boat can move faster. So if you were to think of this dragon boat analogy itself, right? I would liken this to the captain of the dragon boat, and to the leaders of today, right? So in perhaps you may if I were to use the analogy where this dragon boat leader has been high performing, right? Has been winning races all this while, but as competition heats up itself, and as the rules of the competition change, in view of all this technological advances, will you want to rely on past successes, what have got you so far, in winning the races, or would you look forward to the future and think of ways to improve, not just on the hardware of the team itself, okay, but the heart, the HARD, the hardware of the team, right? Because this is where I think if you want to bring this analogy back to companies, right? Leaders themselves, yes, you might have done well, rise up the ranks, through your career, corporate ladder itself, all these years, But if you look at today, times have changed, because what has brought you success in the past itself may not be able to get you the same type of success, in the future, because if I were to use the earlier quality of learning agility itself, that is especially applicable to leaders today, because it's not about what you know or what you have acquired or what you've experienced in the past that brought you there to your current role, but to keep yourself relevant itself is how fast you can learn to keep yourself relevant, right? That will make you a sustainable leader, right? And this is where I think we talk about difficult conversations, that even as people managers that you may have with your employees, so on and so forth. But if you were to flip the script itself, the people managers themselves, the leaders themselves, they do need to have that difficult conversations with, I would say, their own people managers as well. And a lot of times, I think it's through this 360 degrees feedback, and also to be able to understand, what is the elephant in the room, which is number one, what are some of the challenges that your company is facing, Number two, in terms of your current role itself, what is changing, and are you part of that change? And number three, I think it's more at a personal level. How ready are you to make that change?
Mm. Wow, very nice. I love your insights about don't rely on past successes, right? Keep yourself relevant and
Yes.
get feedback from your people, and then what is changing, be part of the change, and also how ready are you to be part of the change.
Yeah.
Very nice
And
insight.
in fact, all these things itself are interdependent, right? Because with all this, coming at you itself, right? In fact, you're actually trying to connect your own dots. Because if I were to just bring you back to your earlier introduction of myself, as a learning and development practitioner itself, and if I were to just look back at the job description that was catered for my role, my current role, 8 years ago itself. Fast forward to
Yeah.
today, if I were to do the current version of my job description, I would say that there has been a fundamental shift, changes in the roles and responsibilities, and that's how
Mm,
fast we are moving, right?
mm,
And to be fair, I think this is also the responsibility of a sustainable leader itself is really be able to see that reality. And the next important step is the execution. What do you do when you have all this information at hand and we are able to connect the dots? How are you going to execute changes? It could be in small little steps, that will make a big difference, in the future.
very nice. I think when you talk about these 8 years, right? When you look back at your 8 years,
In
the
my
job
current role,
description, yeah, that was issued to you 8 years ago, and now 8 years after is different. Yeah, I think it's more about. I'm not sure it's related to your reflection or not, but I'm sure that you're a reflection person. So after knowing this, wow, actually a lot of things have changed. So am I ready for
in,
it? Or do we
in
really
fact,
part
I
of the
think
change?
to all to all the audience who are watching this, a little homework that I request, is for you to look at what you're doing currently as compared to the role that you signed up for, years ago. And I really
Very true.
hope that you will see the big difference or the differences that has changed over time, right, in terms of your roles and responsibilities, right? But of
Very
course,
true.
the other caveat is this: if you think that nothing much has changed in my roles and responsibilities, then I would ask you to do the second step, check in with someone who is familiar with your role. because sometimes it's for us, right, it's our blind spots that we think that, oh no,
Mm.
things are doing good, no, there's no changes, no, I see why you don't need to worry about my role.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to check with another person, right? Don't just rely on your own observation or judgment.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
so we have Dominic question here. So
Mm,
there are managements that see AI as a substitute to human work. Will this not threaten any capability built up by the employees? A disruption to transformation?
mm. Dominic, thanks for your question. I think this is a relevant question in our times, because for all of us itself, we think that AI is going to substitute or even take over our work, our human work itself. Then what's left of us to build in terms of capabilities? And again, I think this goes back to some of the observations that I've seen in various roles within organization itself. Um, I would say that AI is really a great tool to supplement your day-to-day administrative work itself. And second of all, I think when it comes to AI itself, the human, I would say, the contributions, for us to understand how this AI tool works, right? And also, it could be understanding how to do prompting itself. In fact, there was this comparison that myself and fellow HR peers we would make is that this AI tools that we have itself, right? I'm not even going to talk about the evolution towards agentic AI itself, or how such AI will feature in our structure. But let's just take it a step at a time. If you see AI as an enabler to actually help supplement or free up your bandwidth to do more strategic, more value adding tasks itself, then that's a big plus, right? Number two, right? In terms of your relationship with AI, okay, how do you see the use of the various AI tools that you have at your disposal, right? So some likened it to be like your interns. So you have intern one looking at, I would say, if you talk about some of the common tasks that people use AI these days itself, you say, oh, maybe this intern one will be checking my email, summarizing it. Intern two will be looking at drawing out some of my data to come up with a presentation. And maybe intern three, maybe looking at how to actually come up with some form of data analysis for my presentation to management, things like that. So you do have like a team of interns that are AI, right, to help you to do it. And this is where I think for us as human itself, right, our roles are being elevated because you are still managing a team, although not a human one, but an AI, right? And this is something that we need to appreciate because when we are able to see that relationship form, it actually is something that we can continue to nurture and build and strengthen over time. Right?
Thank you, CY, for the insights. But Dominic, I think for AI, right? Nowadays we all talk about AI. Is it substitute to human work? Yes, for some of the repetitive and administrative work. But for those works requiring human touch, we still see our value here. And again, I just wanted to quote some of the things, some of the insights that I gathered at the HR Tech Conference in Singapore in early month, okay, in May. And if I compare it, last year we were all talking about, oh, we are so scared we'll be replaced by AI. But the reality is we have to manage. We need to know how to manage AI instead of being replaced by them. So nowadays we need to be a partner of AI, meaning that we ask AI to do the work for us. But at the end of the day, we are the decision maker, because we have seen a lot of cases where companies will simply send out the work made by AI without checking. So in the end, and the company was in trouble. So we do have cases there because I'm a governance person. So for me, the word responsible is really always highlighted by me. Be a responsible manager, be a responsible organization. So AI is there, but AI is not there to make decisions. We are the one making decisions. So just never think that they will be replacing us. We won't be replaced by them as long as we show our value to organizations. Yeah, I hope I will also help Dominic with some of the insights on top of CY's input. Yeah, on top of CY's input. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so now we are towards the end of the session, and I would love to have CY to give us a closing remarks before we end the session.
With the end of this chat, once again, first of all, thank you, Rita, and the audience for this very insightful conversation that we have. And in terms of my closing remark itself, I hope that y'all could do that little homework that I've mentioned earlier on in terms of checking in on your job description when you first enter to your current role and compare it to where you are now, in terms of your current role, whether there's been any changes in terms of the roles and responsibilities in this space of changes, and also in terms of our race towards building that sustainable transformation journey. And point number 2, I think one parting shot to everyone is all of us. I think we are in this very, I would say, interesting journey ahead with all these changes that's taking place in the workplace. But I would say that let's really build up our threshold when it comes to areas of learning agility, and also in terms of having that mindset, to be prepared to take on future ready capabilities, because this is where we will continue to write the changes ahead, no matter what comes. Right. So, in fact, I would say that this is something that we will hopefully thrive in, and be able to create more value adding and more fulfilling roles ahead for ourselves.
Very nice. Thank you, CY. Remember to do your homework to compare the job description that you had on your first very day of joining the company and your current job description to see if there are any changes there. If no, ask someone. Don't just rely on your own judgment, and be a sustainable leader and always focus on the learning agility. Thank you so much, CY, for all the nuggets of wisdom. I'm sure that our attendees today will have a lot to take away. And thank you, everyone who joined us, and thank you being part of this conversation. I hope today has sparked new thinking about how we can prepare our people and our organizations for a future where sustainability and capability go hand in hand. I'm wishing you all a meaningful rest of the day, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.